Yay! All right, I am super excited. We all want to have more time and more freedom and learn about automation. And I have to say, I'm super excited today to be introducing to you an individual who is known as an automated systems strategist and also the people whisperer. Ely Delaney, thank you for meeting me today and sharing some of your superpowers.
Well, of course, Shannon. It's always my pleasure to come hang out and have a good time with you. That's just the way it works.
Awesome. Well, I have a bunch of questions, but I want to tell a little bit more about you. So he is the creator of the Follow-Up Rockstar System, teaching entrepreneurs how to go from surviving to thriving in any economy through the art and science of building strong relationships and follow-up for life. I don't have your books. I really should. Yeah, I need to get your links so I can get these. And he's an Amazon bestseller of his 2 books, Marketing Tidbits and Networking Tidbits. And he has a passion for connecting people. His best-selling training course, Networking Like a Rockstar, has over 1,300 students registered globally. And he's also a speaker, author. He helps speakers, authors, and coaches automate their follow-up to grow their business without having to get an MBA from MIT. I love that. So he's the guy to help you build a 24/7 automated system and turn you into a rock star. And I have to say, I had the honor and privilege yesterday of sitting in on a team. I know somebody from their last Media Magic event. And why we're here today, those of you that are watching, he is our keynote presenter at the 8th Media Magic Sales and Marketing Intensive at MediaMagicBootcamp.com. You can read all about him and what we're doing. But I had the opportunity of sitting in this is one of a team that I'm on, and they hired you, and I got to see. I am so impressed. I got to see all of your tools and be in on how you work with clients and how you really what I got from it is you take to heart getting to know who they are, what their avatar is, what their pain points are in automation. And you have so much. We have Rosie the dog joining us today.
Puppies.
Puppies.
I'm okay with puppies joining. That's good.
Oh, she would like to automate her food bowl and her water bowl.
There's an app for that.
Ely, share. Can you talk a little bit about that? That was awesome. I'm thrilled in your process.
So the cool thing we do when we work with clients, the very first thing I do is I put them through what I call strategy mapping session. And that's what you got to experience yesterday, is where we basically spend about 90 minutes and we deep dive into who are you, what's going on, what assets do you have, what products do you have, what are you selling, do you have freebies, do you have books, all the stuff that's out there that we have, all these spider webs of things all around us. And then we can put it together and meld it. And what I like to do is, you remember the game Tetris, right?
Yes.
It's an 80s game. Yeah, that's what I do is I play Tetris in 2 different ways. One is I take what are all the bits and pieces? How do we play Tetris to fit them all together so we can all win the game that way? And the second thing is I also like to do that with people. I love to play Tetris with people. How can we take this person, fit them together so we can all win the game that way as well? And that's really what I do. And the strategy mapping session, it's so much fun because I get that experience that you had yesterday where just wow, I didn't know this was even possible. I'd never thought about it that way. That's one of the best things is there's a lot of attention to detail that we go into. And that's what really makes the difference, because nobody necessarily wants automation, quote unquote. What they want is they want to create a better experience for their clients. They want to take more of their prospects and show them how they can actually solve their problems, create a better relationship with them so they will become clients, and then take the clients again after they've created a better experience, got better results with them, and turn them into an army of referrals that will then work for them. And they do like the idea of automating it because, number one, we're humans. We only have so many hours in the day. Plus, we are humans. We are flawed. We will drop the ball. We'll forget things. It's going to happen. And so by using the tools and technology we have out there, that's where we fix that. And of course, the next thing is you're taking all that once you have it in place, it's all automated, which means you're literally buying back your time so you can do the things you'd rather do anyway. And that's what I actually do for clients.
Yeah, what I'm so excited about with this particular client is I've been working with them for about 4 years, and I see how we can become our own bottleneck. Like we have certain information and certain gifts and talents, right? And there's only so much of one person. And so to be able to really set that up in a system that still has the same impact, but frees up the time, even more impact for me as I was going through that yesterday. I was like, wow, this is really great, can really help this person reach their dream of having an even greater impact through automation. So when I first met you, it was down at Ray Perez's branding event, which was really a lot of fun. And oh my gosh, you were sharing, I know this is different than I know this is, I would imagine this is probably a part of what you do, but you were sharing all of these automations with Google and emails and phones, and like you really are the automation king. How do you stay up on all this stuff? Because you were sharing things that I remember, like, how did he know? Like, do you just sit up and read all these manuals?
So I'm a complete nerd, and I love this stuff. My goal years ago, probably 15 years ago, I was telling people I've automation just barely was getting started. And I'm like, okay, I've got all these things I can do. And one of the first things is, as a speaker, I started speaking, and I've got, I might go to an event, I speak in front of 100 people. I might close 10 of them. And that's awesome. That's not a bad day. There's nothing wrong with that. But my brain immediately goes to, what about the other 90? What do we do with those? Why did they buy? How do we fix that? And so it's like, okay, how do we follow up with them and build a process? Because I knew I needed a process because I was too busy. And I mean, I was already working like 12 hours a day, 7 days a week at that time. And it was like, I can't add more time. It's not available anymore. So the technology just barely was getting started, and I embraced it full on to the point where next thing I know, 6 months later, I have automated webinars before people knew automated webinars existed. I had follow-up campaigns for networking. I mean, I network like a fiend. I've literally had a database when I left Phoenix, which is where I lived at the time. I left Phoenix with a database of over 5,000 people that I'd actually met in person and shook their hands. You can't manually follow up with that many people. It's just not possible. And so I started putting stuff in place. And then as more technology happened, I'm like, okay, well, how can we fit this into the mix? How can we fit this into the mix? And again, it's playing Tetris. It's like, how do we make stuff work? And the kicker with it, though, is it's not about using technology. It's about how you use the technology, because the technology is just a machine. And, in today's world, we have this, everybody's like, what's the best CRM system? What's the best email platform? What's the best webinar software? All that kind of stuff. First and foremost, the answer is the one you use. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as you use it and you get it and you'll use it day to day, you're good. But reality is, it's not about the technology. It's about the psychology. How do you build a relationship so people feel like you personally reached out to them, how you personally had a conversation with them, and make it as personalized as possible, utilizing the technology? And so that's everything I do is based around that. All the geeky stuff, that's fun stuff. You can find that all over the place. And if somebody has questions, reach out to me, ask. I got it. I'm like, ooh, what can we do with this? Let's play with it.
Well, I am really excited about this year's topic. You are going to be sharing, again, we're talking about the 8th Media Magic Sales and Marketing Boot Camp at MediaMagicBootCamp.com. This is January 19th and 20th. You're going to be sharing the 3 campaigns every business needs to attract more leads, convert more clients, and create referrals for a lifetime. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This is stuff that I totally dig into. And the reality is, so like I've got these coins that I had made up, and let me just put them up on the screen the best you can read it. And if you can't read that, it says make money. And the other side says save time. And I've got a cool little hourglass on there. I keep this with me because we want to use the tools that how can we make more money using the technology we have, and how can we save time doing that? And I've boiled it down to 3 types of campaigns that really do this. And there's more subsets of that, but I'm going to talk about that. How is it that you can utilize the technology of everything from somebody just barely coming into your world to becoming a raving fan that wants to give you money and wants to buy your stuff because they know you can help solve their problem, to somebody who's going to refer and stay with you forever. I have a guy who reached out to me, and I share this all the time because it's my favorite one in the last 2 years, is that this guy reached out to me. It was September 16th of 2020. And he reached out to me. He says, "Hey, Eli, I've been on your list for a couple of years now. And I just wanted to tell you, thank you so much. You've helped me so much. My son's starting a construction company. I'm wondering if you can help me out." And, he wanted to help out with some marketing stuff. So we started dialogue, which is awesome because that's really where the sales happen. But I go into my CRM system, and for anybody who doesn't know, CRM is basically your database of all the people you got. I go in and I'm like, what does a quote unquote a couple of years mean? He had actually seen me speak at a SCORE event in Scottsdale, Arizona, July 3rd, 2010. 10 years and 3 months later, he's coming back to me and referring his son's business to me. That's what happens when you can put a system in place that just plain works. Because I'll tell you what, if you're doing this stuff manually, you're not holding on to them for 10 years. And so this is where these campaigns come into play. It's all about thinking evergreen, thinking long term, because you know that some people will be ready to buy today, some people next week, next month, next year, maybe a decade down the road.
Yes. I also see that you have one of the things that we do at Media Magic is all the mentors give gifts. And I have to say, I think last year, it had to at least be $3,000 or $4,000 in gifts. This year, I see that you're giving an Automate Me video course, walk through my top automation tools and how to save time every week.
Yep. Yeah. So I get this question a lot from people. Is like, so what are all the tools that I should be using? Because they hear me talk about it. Like you were like, how do you stay it? You talk about this Google stuff and you talk about the email stuff and blah, blah, blah. And people are always asking me, so what tools are you using? And I kind of decided, it was like, you know what, I'm going to put this into a program. And originally it was just going to be a checklist because I love checklists. But as I started writing it, I'm like, this is not going to be deep enough. People are going to, I could make a list of this is what it is in 2 or 3 sentences, but it's not going to explain it well enough. And so I ended up turning it into a mini course. And so I'm going to talk about some of the tools that I recommend you use. Most of them are free. There are some paid ones, but most of them are free. And that you can actually go and put into your business right away. That some of them, I've got one of them literally saves me half hour a day from not having to type all the time. And it's just literally the ability to fast pace through all the stuff that I have saved, all the stuff that I talk about all the time, because you say the same thing over and over again. You just might tweak it a little bit. Well, instead of having to sit down and write an email that takes you 10 minutes, what if you could spend 2 minutes writing the same one, or even a minute? And so that's an example, just one of the tools, and I'll show you the software and how it works and stuff like that. But that's what this is all about. It's all about how can we just take a little bit of time here and a little bit of time here and a little bit of time here, and use the technology that helps us with that in order to create a more consistent brand, more consistent responses, and buy back our time at the same time.
Beautiful. Excuse me.
Bless you.
So anything else that you want to share that, how could somebody get a hold of you if they wanted to connect before the event?
Okay. So easiest way, very, very simple. It is connectwithely.com. It's right above my head, so you can't miss it. Connectwithely.com. And Eli is with a Y, by the way, ELY. Reach out to me. There's a spot you can book on my calendar. I got some free stuff you can download. There's even a spot to find me on all the social media sites, all that kind of stuff. Reach out and let me know. Talk to me. And here's the thing with that relationship piece of everything I just talked about. If you send a friend request or a LinkedIn Connect or whatever platform you're using, make sure you don't just hit the button. Send a message with it that says, hey, I heard you talking to Shannon. I would love to connect with you. Here's something you said that I actually liked. Yeah, you may have only find like 3 words that you like. That's okay. But just do something personalized with it. That personal attention always puts you to the top of the list. Don't do that just with me, by the way. Do that with everybody. You want to get in front of influencers, like high level influencers. Just say something nice on top of just pushing the button. That'll make you stand out. But that's the easiest way for people to come connect with me and come to the event. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have fun with it. I love doing it. I love meeting cool people and just having a good time. And speaking is just kind of the bonus part for me.
Yeah. And so even though you're speaking, I always love to highlight that this is a working event. So we are on a mission to help you create your press kit within 48 hours or less. So what's so powerful is we have Ely is not only a keynote presenter, he's what we would consider our mentors that have been hand selected as industry experts that can help you on this journey of pulling those pieces together. So during these 2 days, the first day we work on your power bio, your elevator pitch. We work on your elevator pitch both days because that's really like one of the most important things. Yep. It's either magnetic or repulsive. Or neutral, and we want it to be magnetic. And so when we're working on your power bio, then you can actually say, hey, can I have somebody look at this? And you can actually get in a room with Ely or get in a room with a copywriting expert and get direct feedback from experts that deal with sales and marketing and conversion. That's really what this is all about. And then I always suggest people do the VIP or the elite because we do VIP lunches, and then we do a VIP, we call it our love seat or hot seat. People sometimes call it at the end of the event. And so this is a chance in a smaller group to get support from everybody on your project. And then we have a lot of other bonuses there too. You can get a press release syndicated in Fox, ABC, NBC, Market Watch. And so Ely, I just have to say from the bottom of my heart, I just feel so grateful that you are, I know you're brain tithing. And so you are, I'm not paying you to speak. And I just thank you so much for not charging me an honorarium, for coming in and giving all of your gifts and talents and spending those 2 days with us. And so those of you that are watching, this is pretty amazing because Ely, just one tip. I remember you gave probably 30 tips, but there was I'd say 1 or 2 tips that I took home and it just changed my business. It was just amazing. I was like, okay, I love all that I learned at that event, but I was like, oh man, those couple of things that Ely gave me, that was worth the whole trip. So
thank you for that. And I want to talk about that for just a second, because I think it's really critical. First off, I appreciate that. I really do. I love hearing those. But there's a story that I remember from Tony Robbins, and he was working with his golf coach. And his golf coach was having issues. And I'm not a golf guy, so bear with me. I'm going to totally butcher it, but you'll get the idea. Okay. He was having troubles with something, and his golf coach said, you need to shift just 1 degree. And he was like, well, that's not enough. It's not, I don't know what you're talking about. And he kept arguing. Eventually, finally, his coach was like, do what your coach says. It's like, fine, whatever. And he did it. And all of a sudden, his problem was gone. It's like he's balls flying way further than it was supposed to be. And his coach is like, see, it only takes 1 degree. And that's really such a powerful message that when you come to an event like this, don't expect days of massive amounts of stuff. You're going to get that, but you're not looking for that. You're looking for 1 nugget, 1 thing that you take back and implement that's going to change your business, that's going to help you. I mean, I think I did it at yours last time. I've given 1 script. I gave away the script. Go use this. And I've had people come back to me and say, oh my gosh, I got the best open rates I ever had with my emails. I've had people come back and say, I just made more money than I have in the last 6 months because of 1 email you told me to send.
Yep.
It's just 1 degree that makes the difference. And that's what you're looking for. Take that nugget and run with it.
Awesome. All right, Ely, thank you so much. I look forward to, the 2 days of just powerhouse sales, marketing, lots of fun, and
definitely fun.
Any final remarks? That was kind of a great note that you had just 1 degree, but anything else you want to say before we say goodbye?
I think I'm going to leave it right there. Let's leave them hanging and have them go sign up, get more, but definitely upgrade to the VIP. Seriously, it gives you more time with not just me, but the other mentors and stuff that are in there. And that's going to make a big difference. That could be your 1 degree right there. You never know what's going to happen with that. It's definitely worth it. The cost is minimal. So seriously, if you're watching this and you're going to come to the event, spend a few bucks. It's not much, and just upgrade to VIP at least. You'll get your money's worth easily.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Ely, so much.